you're lying if you say you don't judge people. So, if you and I went to the pub for a drink and you said to me, what do you think of Heinrich Himmler? I mean, you would think I was mad if I said to you, well, I can't judge him. I didn't walk in his shoes. Maybe I too would have been the head of the SS or whatever. I mean, that would be an insane thing to say. Clearly, in our daily lives, we judge people all the time. You judge people in your family, you judge people you work with, you judge the neighbors, whatever. But as a historian, I guess your job is to go beyond that. There may be part of you that's judging Stalin, let's say. However, the most interesting and intellectually satisfying way to think about Stalin, you can still think he's a bad man, but to understand why, what he's thinking, why does he see the world as he does? Why does he make the choices that he does? Why do other people make similar choices? And so on and so forth. A lot of people generally are too quick to rush to judgment without contemplating the context, without understanding that human beings are very complicated. We rush to say that certain people are villains of history, but of course we're all villains one way or another. I mean, we all have our flaws and weaknesses. I think, it would be weird, of course, not to say that Heinrich Himmler was a villain. Of course, it would seem mad to deny that. But I think there's a gulf between Heinrich Himmler on the one hand, let's say Winston Churchill, who people might judge in Britain, on the one hand, a national savior, but it's become slightly, fashionable in some quarters to say, oh, he said terrible things. Oh, he did this. Oh, he whatever. Clearly, there's a massive gulf between him and the Nazis. I mean, you're not judging him in the same way. And actually, with Churchill, you're talking about a very complicated character who had strengths and weaknesses, who had things that were admirable and things that were obviously flaws. And I think just sort of sitting there as a hanging judge, saying, oh, I don't like you, you've let yourself down there, you're weak, you're not perfect or whatever. I just think it's boring, actually. I think it's a really boring way to think about people in the past. Anyway, your listeners will have their own opinions, no doubt.